All right. And we are live. It looks like it says we are live. Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for being here. And welcome to Awakened. Wait, what radio show is this? Which show am I on today? Okay. This is-
It's Friday. We're gonna be okay.
right. This is Ascension Gateway. That's right. Okay. So, welcome to Ascension Gateway, everyone. I am your host, Sharon Sanana Kumar. And I'm really excited once more to have my good friend here and my neighbor, basically.
Yep.
We live very, very close to each other, which is unusual in the internet world. But yeah, Holly Cole, Crystal Seed Tarot, goddess, priestess of the tarot.
Why, thank you. What an introduction. Thank you for having me again. Always fun to be here. So glad to be spending my Friday evening with all of you lovely people out there.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And hello, Christine. Thank you for being here. Of course, Christine is our resident goddess as well, the Lyran goddess from Lyra. She's got she's got the lion and she's got the lion mane and everything. Gorgeous, gorgeous goddess. And Miss Jules, thank you for being here. Hello, hello, everyone who's here. So tonight, Holly's going to be doing tarot card readings for those that would like a reading.
Happy to.
Yeah, thank you. I also want to say that Holly gave a free talk recently on the Academy. Christine, I'm just a stalker, right? Yeah. Okay, I didn't want to say anything, but yes. So she did a free talk recently. So that is, if anyone wants to see that, that is on the Academy replays. And I understand it was quite an event.
It was fun. We had a good time and got a lot of good feedback, lots of good questions about what one can do with tarot and how to kind of get to the next level in your practice. So it was a good conversation all around. I think I'll be reposting that soon as well on my Facebook and whatnot.
Good, yeah. And you can't beat it. It's free. Sitting with Holly and learning and playing with tarot cards and all that. How can you beat that, right? Yes.
I know I'll have fun, so you'll have fun too.
Totally. And also, Holly is teaching a intermediate to advanced course for Kumara Academy as well. We're sponsoring her for that course. So if anyone is interested in bringing their tarot readings to another level, then that is available. And we are in the early bird stage of getting a discount, a $25 discount off of the fee, the course fee, a 4-week course. So the link is in the details.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk a little bit about that, Holly?
Yeah. I don't want to scare anybody with the word intermediate or advanced, but I think, there's a lot of ways that you can study, the meanings of the cards and try to do the kind of first part of learning tarot. And so this class is designed to help you with the thing that comes next. So just putting it all together in a reading and getting really comfortable with the positions of the cards or how to kind of work with those different layouts and how to notice things like different patterns that are showing up in the readings, which you can notice patterns in a 3-card reading, but once you get into those bigger readings, that's when you can really start to see some cool stuff. So it's actually easier than it sounds. And so I am happy to have whoever is brave enough to give it a shot. Don't be intimidated by the words intermediate or advanced, because it's really just what comes after you learn the cards. And I know a lot of you know what the cards are, but it's kind of scary to take that next step. So come on in. The water's fine. We'll have lots of fun and lots of practice. But yeah, anybody who's taken the classes from me in person has really gained a lot out of it. So I'm excited to finally get to teach it online for the first time ever.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. Uh, okay. I had a brain fart there. Okay. Sorry. I know. I'm excited too, definitely. And there was something you said that I wanted to build on, but I don't remember at the moment. I want to say hi to Craig. I know, right? I want to say hi to Craig, Ran, and Johanna. Hello. Hello. Okay. So there already are requests for readings.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and dive in.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to Miss Jules, I think was the first request we had. So, Miss Jules, I will shuffle the cards for you right now. Let's just take a nice deep cleansing breath. Get that new energy in, and we're going to exhale and release any stagnant or stressed energy. And let's just make sure we're nice and connected to the earth. And we're just going to let the earth keep us grounded and supported while we do this reading right now. And I want us to just intend our energy out to the universe. I want us to intend whatever is the best information for Miss Jules to hear tonight. That's what we would like to know. And Miss Jules, if you can just send your energy to the cards right now, I will try and feel when it's a good time to stop shuffling. All right, I think one more ought to do it. Okay, give me just a moment here. Okay. Well, Miss Jules, I have 3 cards here for you. We are getting all reversed cards right now, which means you're going to get some validation, if nothing else. But let me just hold this up so you can kind of see what we're working with. Past, present, and then future right here. So when we get reversed cards, it means that there's something that we need to change in how we're giving our energy out. And it's very easy to give too much energy out when you're a very loving person. And that's the first thing that's striking me about your reading is you have 2 reversed cups in this reading, on the past and on the future. Cups are the element of water. So water represents our emotional lives, our love, feelings, emotions, emotional health, emotional strength, our relationships, our ability to give and receive love, all of that goodness inside our hearts here. And 7 is a challenge number. So even when this card is upright, this guy's not quite sure which one to pick. There's a lot of different options being given to him. And he might be giving his energy to all of those cups. I don't know. When you have an upright cup, though, we could be overflowing with love and good feelings. But when we get reversed cups, it kind of gives this image of being drained or pouring ourselves out. So a reverse 7 is going to be an extremely challenging number. 7 is, with great challenge can come great reward. But we've got to figure out how to surf that challenge the right way, or we're going to get kind of burned until we figure that out. So 7 of Cups reversed, we've got just kind of too much energy being given in too many different directions. So being spread too thin and kind of being, it feels like, the caretaker of many different people or many different situations. So when we are, I will say you may be suffering from what I call a case of being too good of a person. When we are too nice and too giving and too helpful, and we're kind of trying to caretake and nurture all these different situations or people in our lives, the work is never done. And we've got to kind of put some brakes on this for ourselves at some point. Oh, your mother's caregiver and it's been draining. That makes absolute sense. So, Page of Pentacles reverse is your next card. And I don't know if there is anything else that you can do to get yourself some additional help, since you are the caregiver. But Page of Pentacles, Pentacles would be the earth. So that's going to be everything in physical life. So that could be job, money, home, people, places, things. definitely can relate to health and aspects like that. So this could be definitely about, I need a new chapter in the physical world where I'm being taxed less of my own energy so that I can save some for myself, or maybe try to have some cups that are upright rather than everything being drained. So pages are often message bringers. And if you think about, back in the day before we had the postal service, for instance, you would dispatch a page to go to that other kingdom and bring this letter. So when we see a page showing up in a reading, it can mean that there is some message trying to come through. Presently, that message may be getting blocked because you have a reversed page of pentacles. So if there is some kind of aspect where you could accept some additional help or maybe seek some additional help, I don't know if you've even had a chance to fully look into what might be available to you, but a reverse page of pentacles may be some help that's trying to come through. You may have to look in a new area to find that help, or just be open to it. I know sometimes when it comes to taking care of our loved ones, we want to make sure that we're the ones taking care of them because we know that we'll do the best job. But if we're getting drained and completely just spent of our energy, we can't really do the best job anymore. So I think there's an invitation for you to receive some help, or I guess ask for some help somewhere, or accept some help somewhere. Even though that may be not your first choice, it may be time to give yourself that. Pardon me. Okay. Your last card, which is, I think, changeable. You have Three of Cups reversed right now. And we want to flip that upright. Since this is in the future, we have time to do that. So your last card is Three of Cups. Presently, it's reversed. And 3 in tarot is that creation number. So if I take energy A and energy B and mix them together, I can make energy C and make a brand new thing that's going to be beneficial for myself and everyone around me. So this is the card that sometimes I jokingly call ladies' night because it's ladies dancing and drinking wine. But really, it's about, we need something good to be created here for our feelings and our own just well-being. Right now, what you're creating is being drained more and not having any energy left for yourself, basically. So I think the overall message is, if you can find some help, whether you have to think outside the box to get it, or kind of begrudgingly receive help when I know you may want to do things yourself, or that you are the best person for the job. There are some indications here that, we can't run on empty forever. So I would encourage you to look for those messages that are trying to come through with that Page of Pentacles. All right. You are 100% on point with everything you're saying. I definitely need something good for my well-being. Today in the hospital, we were consulted with hospice care. Oh, yes. Hospice is a great thing. That's a great message for Page of Pentacles to bring in, because that's physical care and help. And that's basically what you need. So if it's being offered, I would lean into that. And I'm sure that you'll still be doing the best job you can to give help yourself. But you'll give much better help to yourself if you have it to give. So, all right.
Perfect. Thank you, Holly.
Yeah, and thank you, Miss Jules.
Okay, let's see who is next. Johanna. Always say Johanna, I apologize. I don't see you enough, so I can't remember how to pronounce your name correctly.
I love that name, actually. And I have the same where I'm always like, is it Johanna? And it's such a cool looking name.
Yes.
I get intimidated by it.
No, I know. I believe it's Johanna.
Okay, so let's see. What feels like my never-ending job search is what Johanna would like to know. And oh, yes, I love when anyone can make us laugh, especially through comments. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's take some nice deep cleansing breaths with that new energy in. And we're going to exhale and let go of any stress or any stagnant or stuck energy. And just let that stuff go. And let's be nice and grounded to the earth. And we're just intending that we would like to know what would be helpful for our job search. What is something that might be missing or somewhere that we could shift our energy? So please just send your energy to the cards, Johanna, and I will shuffle for you. Okay. And let's see what we've got here. Let me just take this in for a moment. Okay. Well, you've got some great cards to work with as far as asking about job and career endeavors and kind of what's your next move. So in the past, you're coming up with 9 of Cups upright. 9 is a number that's about integrity and independence. So 9 is very like, hey, you can't help me with this. Only I can go take care of this. 9 is very personally responsible and doesn't want to put its stuff on anybody else. And 9 is kind of this older, wiser, mature number where it knows what it's talking about. It walks the walk. It's not blowing smoke or anything like that. So you have 9 of Cups upright, and cups are the element of water. So that is love, feelings, emotions, emotional strength, everything that kind of just makes you feel good, and the stuff that's near and dear to our hearts. So when I see this card in the past, it says, you're great at working by yourself. You're great at working independently. You are a self-starter, self-motivated, and you really like to do stuff that means something to you. You're not trying to just get a paycheck. You're trying to do something that is important to your heart, is what it feels like. And basically you don't want any kind of just jobby job. You want something that lets you feel that fulfillment, that meaningful aspect is what you're looking for in a job, is what it feels like. So your next 2 cards are both reversed swords. And I do think these are changeable, but we've got reversed King of Swords in the present, and we've got reversed 2 of Swords in the future. And this 2 of Swords especially is changeable. So swords are the element of air. So that's going to be everything up here in the air, which is our mentality, our communication, how we think about things, how we put ourselves out there or network. Swords are also kind of an action taker, decision maker. So we could take that sword and be like, charge, this is where I'm going, move out of my way, or I'm going to draw this line in the sand right here, and that's my boundary, and don't cross me. So King of Swords, this is saying, even though it's reversed, it's saying you have great leadership qualities. You may not be recognizing them, which is why your card is reversed, or you may be kind of like, no, I don't want to be the boss, because that comes with a lot of responsibility or kind of its own messes, in certain endeavors. So, but what this is saying is maybe you should be willing to put yourself out there as a candidate, as a boss, or as someone that is able to take on more responsibility or kind of lead the team. It seems like you're naturally good at this, but maybe are kind of holding it at arm's distance, or don't see yourself that way. So this is kind of showing up to say this is available to you. I don't know if there is something also that maybe kind of a new aspect, since in the past you've dealt with cups. Is there some new aspect with the swords as far as what you're doing going forward? Is that something to do with your intelligence, with your communication, with your ability to organize things? Those would all be kind of swords aspects. So your changeable future card, 2 of Swords reversed, you want to upright that. But 2 if we think of tarot has a lot of like 1 through 10 action because that's a chapter of life. 10 is going to be that goal or that full manifestation. 2 is little baby steps into that new chapter. So I think this is saying you should put yourself out there in some way. And this may be kind of thinking outside the box for you, or a new area of career possibilities altogether. But 2 is kind of that first aspect of meeting, that duality, that self and other, that partnership. And so this to me is saying, put yourself out there, go make those connections. Or maybe you already have those connections and you just have to reach out. But this is definitely encouraging you to kind of put yourself out there in a way that you haven't before, or to communicate for yourself and advocate for yourself in a way that you haven't before. But you definitely have some kind of leadership aspect. And so you may just need to kind of accept your own power in that way. So I hope that this makes sense to you. I see the word exactly. So, oh, she says she pronounces it like the town in South Africa. Perfect. So lean into your leadership aspects and put yourself out there. I think there's kind of a new realm that you haven't really tested your career skills out yet and before, and you're being invited to try that out.
Perfect. Beautiful. Okay. So the town in South Africa, how is that pronounced?
Johannesburg.
Johannesburg.
Johannesburg, yeah.
Johannesburg? Or Johannesburg. Johannesburg.
I think we would say Johannesburg, and they would probably say Johannesburg. Okay.
So Johanna says it makes perfect sense.
Good.
Thanks so much. Great. All right. Let's see who is next. Holly is the best, Christine. You're right. Of course. All right. Soul Child.
Okay, Soul Child. Let me just shuffle the cards for you. Reset that energy. And let's go ahead, take a nice deep cleansing breath in. And we're just going to exhale and shake off the day, shake off the week. And let's be nice and present within ourselves. And just stay grounded to the earth. And let's intend whatever's the best information for you. That's what we'd like to hear tonight. And you can go ahead and send that energy. Okay. Alrighty. Soul Child, you have got a little pentacle sandwich here going on. So got some more reversals. Got Queen of Pentacles reversed in the past, 5 of Swords reversed in the present, and 8 of Pentacles reversed in the future. But not for long. We're going to flip that card. So Queen of Pentacles is basically, I see Queen of Pentacles show up a lot for people who are great leaders of their physical environment. So Queen of Pentacles would be someone who is boss babe vibes, where she is organizing and controlling all of this chaos around her, or making things look beautiful, making things look flawless and easy. A lot of times, I get a lot of people showing up for Queen of Pentacles, especially when it's upright, when they're the type of person that they always have an amazingly put together outfit, or their house looks like it's out of a magazine. But somebody who has great command of their physical reality, in many different ways. But somebody who is kind of flawlessly, just naturally beautiful. So lots of compliments from the universe for you tonight. But beyond that, you've got Queen of Pentacles reversed. So somehow being kind of crushed by all of the responsibilities and duties and things that are going on around you or that you may be in charge of right now. So if we have a throne upright, great. We're in that throne and people respect us for it and help us be the best leaders that we can be. But when we get reverse thrones, that means that the throne's kind of crushing us, kind of wearing us down, and we're not getting to be the best leaders that we know we can be. So this feels like you've got a lot of stuff on your shoulders, a lot of responsibilities, not enough help, and you're not getting to kind of execute things the way that you would like because there's just too much stuff on your shoulders in the first place. Presently, you are contemplating some kind of change. So you've got 5 of Swords reversed. Swords are that element of air. So that's everything up here in the air, which is our mentality and our communication. So this is going to speak to how we kind of speak our truth, how we set our boundaries, and how we carve our way out in life. Are we saying, okay, we'll take this stuff on, or are we saying, no, here's my boundary, I'm not taking any more of your stuff on? This to me looks like I've taken a lot of stuff on and they're expecting me to take more on, basically, which I don't want for you. 5 is that change number because if we think of 1 through 10 as a chapter of life in tarot, 5 is smack dab in the middle. So 5 is really that change point where we're kind of reanalyzing how we're going to get to that 10. Are we still going to go to that exact 10, or is it time to find a new 10 to finish this chapter? When this card is upright, this guy speaks up for himself and tells these other guys no, or tells them I don't think so, or sets some kind of boundaries for himself. So you're really being encouraged to make some kind of change, set some kind of boundaries, or speak up for yourself in some way in regards to the physical world, because we're still talking about these pentacles on either side of that. So whether this is a family matter, a job matter, a work matter, a school matter, is something in your physical life, and it can be more than one thing as well. So your last card is 8 of Pentacles, presently reversed. I believe we can still flip that upright. 8 is the strength number. So if you think of that Mobius strip or infinity symbol, those are figure 8s. And that is basically saying, I have an extremely strong spirit and you can try to take me down, but you can't break me. I will keep going. So when this card is upright, this guy is really getting to work at his craft and develop it and become stronger and stronger at whatever skills he has or talents he's trying to develop, and just becoming the best version of himself that he can be. This would be very opposite energy of this reverse Queen of Pentacles, where she's got too much on her shoulders. She's not getting to be the best version of herself like this guy would be if he's upright. So I believe there's some kind of change that needs to happen, something that you need to speak up for yourself on, or set some boundaries on, or say no to, so that you can be the best version of yourself in the physical world. So whether this is, hey, I can't be the best employee that I know I can be if you're putting too much responsibility on my shoulders, or I don't know how I'm going to, get everything I need to out of school unless I have someone supporting me in these other aspects. But you're being encouraged to speak up for yourself, set some boundaries so that you can be the best version of yourself going forward. You're going to be strong no matter what, but presently you're being made to feel not strong because you have way too much on your shoulders. So call that stuff out so we can feel like our strong, badass self. Okay? All right. I hope that makes sense for you, soul child. And get your swords out. Start calling things out. And carve your way through all of those pentacles.
Nice. Nice. Good advice there. I love the cards. All right. So let's see here. Craig. Did I pass you up, Craig? I'm sorry. Okay. We won't forget you. All right, let's go to Craig. Craig, do you have a question or just, well, let's go with Craig. Probably would.
Alrighty.
Yeah, let's just go with Craig.
Perfect. All right, Craig, let's go ahead and take some nice deep cleansing breaths. Shake off the day, shake off the week. Just let everything go, and let's be nice and present within ourselves. And I want us to just intend whatever's the best information to hear tonight. That's what we'd like to know. And you just send your energy to the cards for me, please. One more. Perfect. Okay. Find it interesting. We're getting a lot of reversals tonight, but I also feel like that is the energy right now. There's a lot of introspection going on and kind of reevaluating things for a lot of people, myself included. So, Craig, you have actually a couple of cards that we've already talked about this evening, but you're starting out with one that we haven't seen yet. In the past, you've got Magician reversed. So the Magician is, let's see. I just want to get caught up on what Craig was saying. Next 3 months. Want to know what's going on next 3 months. So the Magician normally is basically this very empowered person that really knows his strengths, his skills, his talents, and is very bold. He's one of 2 cards that has that Mobius strip over the head, which kind of signifies that similar to an 8 energy, where it's extremely strong. It's that Mobius strip, that infinity symbol, where, you know, I'm capable of doing whatever I want. This guy is definitely saying I'm capable of doing whatever I want with that powerful stance and all of his tools there on the table. So when we see this card reversed, it means that you may not see all of your talents and skills as clearly as you should. You may not recognize all of them. You may still be getting to know your talents and skills in some way. But when I see this reversed Mobius strip card, especially with the Magician, you know, I have seen this show up where people are just kind of needing a confidence injection, where we may be a little too harsh on ourselves, or kind of too quick to poo-poo our talents and our skills and our strengths. And part of the reason I'm feeling that, Craig, is because your next card is this 8 of Pentacles reversed. So 8 of Pentacles, 8 is that strength number once again. So just like the Mobius strip, it's that that symbol of endless energy where I can keep going, and you can try to take me down, but I'll just keep going. I am strong enough to go. So Pentacles are that earth aspect. So everything in physical life, job, money, home, people, places, things, all of the in real life kind of stuff. So when I'm looking at these 2 cards together, you know, if this was kind of a question of what am I going to do in my next work endeavor? What's my next chapter in the physical world? You know, you may not see what's available to yourself because we've got this reverse Magician. If we don't see all of our talents and skills and tools, we won't see the possibilities that are before us. So the main thing sticking out to me is, you know, when you're asking about what's going to happen in the next 3 months, is you're creating that with how you're looking at things and how you view yourself and how you feel about yourself. And if we're too harsh on ourselves and kind of poo-pooing our strengths or our talents, or saying, oh, I'm not that great, and kind of being harsh on ourselves, we're not going to create the things we want to in the physical world. despite how strong we are and how capable we are and how talented we may be, we will kind of block ourselves if we're just not nicer to ourselves. Your last card, which I believe all of these need to kind of be flipped upright. We need to work on all of these getting flipped upright. We need to be way nicer to ourselves, not be intimidated by our own power and strengths and skills, and actually say thank you when someone compliments us, or say, hey, I didn't do too bad on that. We need to start somewhere with being nicer to ourselves. Otherwise, we're going to see ourselves as not strong enough to do the things that are being presented to us, or not worthy of the opportunities that we're being given. This card is saying you're very strong at what you do in the physical world. But with it reversed, it's saying you're not recognizing that exactly. So your last card, 9 of Cups reversed, which again, we want to flip that upright. Cups are the element of water, so that's going to be everything in your emotional life. So your love, feelings, emotions, your relationships, and really how you feel about yourself. 9 is that number that's about integrity and independence. And when this card is upright, this guy is very like, hey, I don't need you. You can buy me a drink, but I'm not going home with anybody. I love myself just fine, and I don't need anybody else. He's very confident and doesn't really need anything from anyone on an emotional level. When this card is reversed, 9 takes on less of that independent quality and more so feels like, oh man, I'm all alone and there's no one here to help me and all my cups are knocked over. When we get reversed cups, we're getting drained. We're feeling really bad emotionally. So we can either have an upright cup and overflow with happy feelings and love and good feelings towards ourselves, or we can get very drained and be very hard on ourselves. And we will, in turn, kind of not create what we want in our reality going forward. So over the next 3 months, your question, I want you to just work on accepting your own power and being nice to yourself and recognizing your skills and your talents and your strengths and all of that, because that is going to change the outcome. Really, it's going to be a lot more is going to present itself to you if you can just be nicer to yourself and kind of lean into giving yourself loving feelings instead of, I don't know, being mean to yourself. It feels like you're being a little too mean to yourself. So we want to step into the confidence that this Magician card can bring us and recognize we got all the skills to pay the bills, and it's just a matter of us looking at it the right way. Nice. So I hope that works for you, Craig.
Yes. All right. Who is next? I think it's Ren. Let me find Ren here. There you are. Do you want to take a break?
Mm-mm. Nope.
You're good? Good to go?
Yep. Just gotta hydrate.
Definitely.
Ren was in the last tarot class that we had.
Yeah. Welcome back, Ren.
I see Craig says, just what I needed. Be nice to yourselves. I think we could all use a little bit of be nice to ourselves. But yes, thank you for being open to a reading, Craig. All right, yeah. Ren, my lady. Ren is starting her own tarot business, I believe. So who knows? Maybe she'll be on here giving readings sometime.
That would be amazing. Definitely. Yeah.
All right, Ren, let's go ahead and just shake the day off and shake the week off. And just lean into our energy here. And stay nice and grounded. And go ahead and send your energy to the cards for me. And we just want to know whatever is the best information. Right. This feels really good already. All right. right. I think we're ready to go. Let's see. Woo! All right. Ren, you got some intense cards, girl. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna hold them up so that you can see the intensity that's going on. Past, Judgment reversed, present, Queen of Swords upright, future, Death reversed. So, so this is a very interesting reading. Judgment and Death both have a lot to do with death, obviously. Death is obviously, death is riding through on a pale horse. Of course, yes. And Judgment is we've got the corpses rising out of their graves to say, okay, come judge me, God, because this is who I am and I can't take it back now. So, Bryn was asking, oh, yes, subtle. Let's see. She just keeps coming back. Yes. I'm assuming you're talking about Queen of Swords. I think that's one of your cards for sure. So Judgment is the second to the last card in the major arcana. The card that comes after this is the World, which is card number 21. But it's really the 22nd card because we're starting with the Fool, which is 0. So in tarot, I've explained there's a lot of 1 through 10 because that's kind of a chapter of life. And 10 would be the final outcome or the end of that chapter. So with Judgment being a double 10 or a 20, this is a very, very, very long chapter that we're talking about here in the past. So it looks like in the past, there's already been a very long chapter that hasn't come to an end or hasn't come to the end that you want it to. So therefore, it's not ended yet. Or it doesn't feel like you can leave it behind yet. Presently, you have Queen of Swords, and you are definitely Queen of Swords energy, Ren. Queen of Swords is, I'm good at delegating. I'm good at explaining. I'm good at giving instructions. I'm good at taking notes. I'm good at networking. I'm good at getting grants. I'm good at like all of the things that I know you do actually. So Queen of Swords is in that leadership position and of course is doing her best to lead, but it looks like the things around her are not easy to lead. So when you've got Judgment and Death on either side of Queen of Swords, it seems like there's something that you are considering trying to end, but you would like to end it gracefully. And until you feel like it's safe or in a good place, you're not willing to walk away from it. So Death reversed, when Death is upright, we're ready to move on. We've got a mode of transportation here with the horse, so we're ready to move forward and kind of change that energy, get rid of the old so that we can grow something new in its place. So when I'm looking at this combination of cards, it looks to me like you are in charge of a lot of different things, and I actually know that you are in charge of a lot of different things. But there are a couple of things that I think you're ready to kind of put to bed or not be in charge of anymore. And unfortunately, you're the best person for the job. And so I think you're going to stay there. If this is going to come true, then you're not going to let it die away for a little bit yet. But I think you recognize that we're going to need to start kind of saying no at some point. But gosh darn it, you're just too good at what you do. So I think you're going to continue to do all of these things until they're in a better place. But please, if things are not getting to the perfect place that you want them to be before you walk away or end a certain chapter or two, just know that not everything is your responsibility all the time. And she says, dag nabbit. But not everything is your responsibility. And just because, I say this, like, if you're good at doing the dishes, they're going to keep asking you to do the dishes. So if you got to break some dishes at some point in the future, break some dishes and right away. So, but I know you're going to do what you can until then, but just give yourself a clean break because you can't go on indefinitely in charge of everything. All right.
Good advice. Yeah. It's funny how when you volunteer to do things, they end up being your job all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that from my work days.
And some people are just really good at certain things, and then you kind of regret being good at that.
Well, yeah, and then people expect you to do it all
Right.
the time, right? It's just automatically becomes part of the
Yeah.
deal.
Yep. Yep.
And I this may have come up in the reading too. I don't know, but then it also enables people too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Sometimes walking away and letting people fend for themselves is a good form of tough love.
Yes, definitely. All right. Are you ready for your next
Sure
victim?
thing.
Okay. All right. Looks like we have Anita.
Okay. Anita. What are Shan's true feelings for me? Family friend, but I feel he has a crush on me. Interesting. Okay. Let's see here. Let me just go ahead and reset the energy for you. And I want us to just take a nice deep cleansing breath of that new energy in. And exhale and release any stagnant or blocked energy. And let's just stay nice and grounded to the earth. And I want us to intend to the universe. We would like to know, what are Shan's true feelings for Benita? Is there anything going on there that we need to be aware of? And Benita, you go ahead and just send your energy to the cards for me. All right. We need one more. Okay. Let me just take a look at this for a moment here. You know, I don't know that there's not a ton of overwhelming love feelings coming up in this reading. If I were going to discuss more loving feelings, I'd see a lot more cups here, and I don't have any cups here. I've got reversed 7 of Swords, and then I've got reversed 5 of Pentacles, and then upright 2 of Pentacles. So this is saying a few different things to me. So number one, in the past, 7 of Swords reversed. This is what's known as the Thief card when it's upright. So when this card is upright, the story that's going on in this card is somebody stole all of this guy's swords, and he's like, man, what am I going to do to get my swords back? I can't go fight them because they have my weapons, and so he has to kind of get clever. Since swords are air, so it's mentality and communication and all of this stuff kind of up here at this level. Swords would have to do with making decisions, being clever, using your intelligence and your cunning and all of that to kind of outwit people. Swords are also about setting boundaries, kind of defining things in your life. 7s are a challenge. And so when we have an upright 7, then cool, we might be meeting that challenge just fine. But when we get reversed 7, it can say that there was a big challenge that happened, and maybe we weren't able to figure that out or rectify the situation in whatever ways. So when this card shows up in the past for you, And we're asking about, is someone interested in me? On the whole, as far as relationships go in the past, it seems like there was a lot taken from you. There was a lot that you were maybe lied to about, or a lot of things that were unfair to you, or, this would be kind of the aspect of, rather than you stealing or reclaiming something back, things being stolen from you, time, energy, boundaries, what have you, being stolen from you in the past. And there wasn't really a way to make that better other than to end those relationships. And good for you for doing so. Presently, you have 5 of Pentacles reversed, and this is the card that shows up when we're kind of needing to look for help in some way. When this card shows up when it's upright, there is an indication that these people that are out in the cold just need to look up at the window and, oh, we're passing a church. I bet we could get some shelter or some food or some warmth in there. So this is about kind of looking for help when you get that card upright. 5 of Pentacles, 5 would be, again, that change number. So if we have 1 through 10 is a chapter of life, 5 is that smack dab in the middle change number. So there's some aspect of you needing some kind of change in the physical world. Pentacles are going to be that physical world aspect. So everything in your real life. So job, money, home, people, places, things, family, physical people in your life, or relationships. So to me, this is saying there has been just kind of not good luck with relationships in general. And this card to me says there's not a lot to choose from for some reason. So I don't know, we all know dating is not anybody's favorite activity. And sometimes there really isn't a lot to choose from in the dating world. So, I see your job needs to be changed is what she's saying as well. And that would also make sense for those Pentacles. So in the future, you've got 2 of Pentacles upright. So this is a card that is really about kind of juggling. So there could be an aspect of, sure, maybe there could be a relationship there. Maybe this is someone that could be interested in you. But I don't get overwhelming feelings of they're super interested in you. What I get the feeling of more so is that you are ready for a relationship, but you're not exactly having a lot to choose from, or maybe you're not able to exactly put yourself out there to meet the type of person that you would want to be in a relationship with. So it kind of gives this impression of, yes, people have taken advantage of me and my career. My family has too. I'm sorry to hear that. You need to bust those swords out and tell them what's up, or set those boundaries, or, advocate for yourself rather than letting people take advantage of you going forward. And really, that's one of the main points of this reading is you need to speak up for yourself. You need to advocate. What do I want? What would be good for me in a relationship? Otherwise, you're possibly going to not have a lot to choose from, and then you're going to kind of just juggle whatever comes along. So 2 of Pentacles is just kind of this ho-hum, I'm juggling. And this isn't a super romantic card because we're still in Pentacles. If this was going to be a romantic partnership, I would see 2 of Cups or the Lover's card or something with a cup. This is kind of a, yeah, I guess I could do that if I wanted to. I think really you need to put yourself out there more and advocate for yourself more. Yes, I've always had a hard time speaking up, she says. We've got to decide what kind of partners we want, because otherwise we pick partners from what I call the rancid sushi train of potential partners. We're not picking rancid sushi partners. We're getting fresh to order from the universe. So tell the universe what kind of a partner you would want. Someone who treats you well, someone who likes the same stuff as you, someone who likes to go out on dates, somebody who likes to cuddle, somebody who has good communication with you. Like, make that list and talk to the universe about what that is, who that person would be. You don't have to know who they are specifically, but start making that list to the universe, because otherwise we're going to juggle some, again, not great relationships. Speakers died. How funny is that? Oh no. I was just seeing a comment that the speakers died. We were talking about having a hard time speaking up.
Yeah. Right? Wow.
I'm sorry to hear that, Benita. And, you know, I'm a big advocate for, if family's not treating you right, then get new family. We can all create new family from our friends and the people that treat us right and really take care of us. And if other people aren't getting the message, then we don't have to talk to them anymore.
Yes. All right. Another amazing reading. Okay. Shelley is next, it looks like. Let's see here. So hopefully she can hear you, Shelley.
Okay.
If you can't hear her now, you'll hear her in the recording.
Okay. So
let me find her here.
All right. Now on my phone it works. All right. So Shelley. So many obstacles recently. Well,
obstacles.
I don't know if Mercury is still retrograde, but I tell you, it's been a hard one.
Here's your first request.
Okay. There we go. You and me both out of sorts lately. All right. So let's go ahead and just shake off the day, shake off the energy. Let's be nice and present within ourselves. And let's just intend whatever's the best information for Shelley to hear. That's what we would like to know. And Shelley, go ahead and send your energy to the cards. I am going to just feel when it is the right time. Stop shuffling. Alrighty. Okay. Let's see here. Give me just a moment. Okay. Yeah, you have a very interesting reading here where there is kind of multiple different directions that we're going in. So that can definitely make you feel out of sorts. So you actually have 2 out of 3 cards are upright. We've had so many reversals tonight that we'll take any upright cards that we can get. But so you may not be as out of sorts as you think you are because you got 2 upright cards. So in the past, you are showing up as 8 of Cups upright. 8 is that strength number. So just like that Mobius strip or that infinity symbol, it's saying I am super strong and can keep going and going and going. For you, primarily emotionally strong. So this is a card that is about being able to kind of leave things behind in search of what is going to fill your spirit more, fill your heart more. This is a card that's about this guy leaving his worldly possessions behind in search of what is going to better fulfill him up ahead. So he's not afraid of letting things go. He trusts the process, trusts the universe, and knows that whatever he loses, he'll be provided up ahead because he is strong in his emotional capacities and feels good about things. So there's a lot of subconscious elements in this card with the moon, the nighttime, the water. So this is kind of about, I think, partly you listening to your deepest parts of yourself in the past, you being very in touch with your subconscious, and that you really go for things that are near and dear and important to your heart. I think you kind of have a fearlessness when it comes to emotional endeavors, and really are able to do a lot. You have a lot of emotional strength that a lot of other people don't. And I don't know, those of us that are very emotionally strong, we don't always give ourselves credit for that because we think nothing of it. Oh, I would do that, anytime. But like, not everyone is that emotionally strong. So in the present, I see you have Knight of Pentacles upright, and Pentacles were in that earth element. So that's going to be job, money, home, people, place that you kind of embarked on a new endeavor in the past, and you're still kind of finding your footing or kind of going places with that. Since we have a mode of transportation with that horse, this means that we're kind of journeying right now, or we're going from one area to another, or we're could be just physically running laps around people with how hard we work, is another thing that I see happen a lot with this particular card. So these two cards together kind of create the image for me of you go hard for what you love. The other thing is Knights are the teenagers of the tarot deck. Pages would be the child, kings and queens would be the adults, and Knights are the teenagers. So when I think of teenage energy, that's a lot of energy. That's like, go, go, go. Let's stay up late. Let's party all night. And then we'll get up and do it the next day and no problem. So together, this is some fierceness going on right here where you're going hard for something that you love, or you're really giving a lot of energy that I don't think everyone has that level of energy. So these are all really positive upright cards so far, but we have a curveball up ahead with this 10 of Swords reversed. This card, I believe, is changeable. We don't have to keep this outcome. We can get a heads up from this reading and change it and get 10 of Swords upright at the very least. So swords, we're back to that air mentality, communication aspect. And swords would have to do with speaking up for yourself, setting those boundaries, telling people no, and kind of carving your way out in life. So with, making the right choices or setting the right trajectory for our energy and kind of keeping focused on that. That's why it's important to have boundaries. If we don't have boundaries, our energy goes everywhere and then it doesn't actually go forward. So when I'm looking at this, you go hard for what you love, and what we need to homework are boundaries for the most part. So swords being boundaries and speaking up for yourself and all of that. If we don't do that, we can get stabbed in the back. And this guy, unfortunately, is stabbed in the back, whether the card's upright or reversed. But it is a much more positive outcome when the card is upright. When the card is upright, at least this chapter comes to an end in a more upright, positive way. So maybe he learns how to kind of speak up for himself in this chapter. And sure, maybe he got a little hurt in the process of learning that, but he learned it and he ends that chapter well. When the card is reversed, it means I'm not ending that chapter at all. It just keeps going and I don't achieve what I want to in that chapter. But more importantly, this guy can slowly still be falling down on those swords. So he can be allowing himself to continue to get stabbed in the back over and over. So if we can speak up and have some boundaries on how hard we're going for what we love, then at the very least, we're going to end this chapter in a more positive way. When the card's upright, he got stabbed in the back, but he's learned his lesson and he's not going to let it happen again. We've got a new day on the horizon. So lots of positive things still when the card is upright, even though he did get stabbed in the back. So I think the name of the game for you is really being comfortable with speaking up for yourself and setting those boundaries, because I think you want to go hard for what you love. I think you can come at things with the energy of a teenager. And I think we all wish we had the energy of a teenager sometimes, but definitely if you can speak up for yourself and set some boundaries, you're going to be able to achieve much more of what you want. You'll be able to keep going in the ways that you want. But if you don't, we're going to get kind of a yucky outcome. So I hope that makes some sense or gives you some food for thought and kind of some homework to work on with the universe there.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Let's see. Do you need some water or some air? Some oxygen?
Mhm.
Okay, Shelley. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm sure it will. Okay, so let's see. There was Gregory. Gregory would like a reading. And then
Okay.
I think Soul Child asked another question. Let's get to Gregory first, and then we can get back to Soul Child for hers if you want.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Gregory, let me just shuffle and reset the cards for you.
Okay, Shelley says I agree. Perfect. That's her.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. I love how that's spelled. All right, Gregory. Can't talk. So let's go ahead and just take some nice deep cleansing breaths, get that new energy in. We're just going to shake off the day, let go of any stressful energy, anything stagnant or blocked. And let's be grounded to the earth and just intend to the universe. Whatever is the best information to hear tonight, that's what we would like to know for Gregory. And please just send your energy to the cards, Gregory. Okay. Let's see what we've got for you. Oh my gosh, 3 upright cards. Yay! It only took an hour. All right. So, Gregory, yeah, wow, okay. You got some cool stuff going on. So, you have, let me just hold these beautiful upright cards up for you so you can see what you're working with here. We've got past, present, and future right there. So in the past, 4 of Pentacles upright, 4 is that foundation number. So if you've got 4 cornerstones, now you could build a house on it. So it's all about getting that foundation, in this case, in the physical world, because we have pentacles, and pentacles are the aspect of earth. So that's going to be job, money, home, people, places, things, your work, your craft, what you're doing to pay the bills, and everything in real life, all of the adulting. First ever tarot reading here for Gregory. So, so in the past, it looks like you have been very focused on getting that foundation solidified. And it looks to me like you're doing things in a very kind of orderly fashion. You're not putting the cart before the horse. You're making sure you've got everything strong in your foundation before you move on to building the next parts of your life. So presently, you have 3 of Wands upright. Wands are the element of fire. So that represents your spirit, your will, your energy. My cliff notes would be what fires you up, or the fire in your belly, basically. So what calls to your spirit? What do you want to invest your energy in? And what kind of gives you energy back? So what are the causes and beliefs that you want to champion? And yep, very orderly for most of my life. Yes, I definitely feel that with that 4 of Pentacles card. So 3 is the number of creation and creativity. So if I have energy A and energy B, I could mix them together and make energy C. So this card is really about what do I want to create with my energy going forward here. And this is a really cool card because this guy is kind of taking this really empowered stance with these wands, like, yep, this is what I'm going to do. But he's looking out at his ships on the horizon and kind of has this, I don't know, like I can do anything I want kind of feeling with this card. So now that you've got everything kind of figured out in the physical world, or got all your ducks in a row, now it's time for you to go kind of have some fun, or do things that aren't so physically oriented or responsibility oriented. I think you're going to still be responsible, but I'm just saying, let's have some fun. let's get a little crazy. And I say that partly because your last card is the moon. And so there's two sides of the deck in a tarot deck. One is like a regular deck of cards where there's suits and numbers. So, these would be from that side of the deck. And I call that kind of the choose your own adventure side of the deck. So it's like, this is what I did in life, and this was the outcome, and kind of the more practical side of things. The other side of the deck are these archetypes, and there's only 22 cards that have these archetypes on them in the 78 total tarot cards. So the archetype cards are kind of more what I call the universe says this side of the deck. So these are the lessons that the universe is putting in your life, or things that the universe kind of wants you to work on or learn. And the moon is about going through kind of a crazy time in life where you have to question everything and really learn how to trust yourself. And that seems like a perfect thing for you to learn, given how very practical and orderly you've been previously in life. Let's shake it up. Let's get a little weird and see if you can learn about the deeper parts of yourself. So the moon is the Pisces card. So that is going to have to do with going to be water again. So your love, feelings, emotions, and the really deep parts of yourself. Pisces is really related to your subconscious and your dreams and all of that deep stuff inside. So the moon is about going on this crazy long journey where you're going through different terrains. You've got to encounter different beasts and different aspects of yourself. But the moon is really about, questioning everything. In the daytime, we can take things at face value. Okay, that's there. Okay, don't step there. It's not safe. At nighttime or in the darkness, we're like kind of feeling our way around. Is this okay? Is that still here? And so the moon is really about that. It's about feeling your way around through kind of a dark phase, but learning something for it. Learning about yourself in the process, learning how to trust yourself in the process. And when we see a really long journey like this leading to mountains, it has something to do with kind of your betterment or your enlightenment or your progression of your consciousness throughout this time. Holly, just wow, all maps with what's going on in my life and dramatic changes the last 1.5 to 2 years. Absolutely. So it's the perfect card to get on those big spiritual journeys and navigating those changes, learning something about yourself in the process. You're not going through all of that for no reason. You're going through it to learn something about yourself. And when you see two pillars like this in a tarot card, it means when I cross that threshold, I'm going to be a new version of myself. So this is a really beautiful card to get for exactly what you're talking about, where going through a ton of changes and landscape shifting, having to feel your way around in the dark, having to learn how to trust yourself and listen to yourself first and foremost. So amazing upright cards. I love when we get a nice little kiss from the universe where we've been going through some hard stuff and then the universe is like, it's not that bad. Actually, you're doing really good. Look at this. So,
Nice.
So thank you for letting me be your first tarot reading, Gregory. I hope that all makes sense to you.
Yeah. Wow. That was, yes. So what an amazing first reading. Christine says that you are a tarot machine. So true. All right. And just as a reminder, Holly is teaching a tarot course next Saturday, a week from tomorrow.
For a whole month.
Yes, for a full month. Totally. Go to kumaraacademy.com for more info. I do have the link down in the details. And I wanted to bring up what Ren said. She said you're demonstrating how well you teach because she took your last course. Yeah. I can't find it. But yeah, totally.
Well, thank you, Ren.
Oh, here it is. Such a great example of how well you teach. Mm-hmm. And how long have you been doing tarot again, Holly? 18 years?
I think it's my 18th year this year. And yeah, I continue to learn new things about it every single day, and it just never gets old. And it's infinitely rewarding and fascinating. And if you're thinking about getting into tarot, I cannot recommend it enough. And you do not have to be given a deck. You can just buy your own deck like I did and start your journey.
Right. And it's more than just the cards, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's, you get to learn basically about tarot is kind of an oracle of oracles. And if you're trying to get introduced to metaphysics in general, or kind of just this world of woo-woo stuff, tarot's the best thing that you could do, because tarot's really a sampler platter of all of this metaphysical stuff. We've got the 4 elements, the earth, wind, fire, water. We've got the numerology aspects. We've got the archetypes. We've got all kinds of different traditions and symbols and kind of saga references and mythological references in tarot. So really you can get a good overview of just energy in general, how energy works, because all of this stuff is about energy, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Nice. Okay. All right. So let's go. Are you ready for another reading? Okay. Let's go with Remy.
Okay. And I'd like to know about my daughter, what she will be like. She's due in December, and my first kid. Congratulations, Remy.
Wow. Yes. Congratulations. That's exciting.
I wonder if this will be a Sagittarius baby or a Capricorn baby. Either way, good traits either way. I've got a Sagittarius husband. Highly recommend. All right. So, Remy, let's go ahead and take some nice deep cleansing breaths. And let's stay grounded to the earth. And we would just like to intend out to the universe. We would like to know what to expect with Remy's daughter. Is there anything that Remy needs to know coming up for this new chapter in her life? And anything she needs to know about our little darling daughter that's going to be joining us here on Earth soon. So Remy, just go ahead and send your energy to the cards here. They already feel really good to me. So, all right, let me get one more. Okay. Give me just a moment to look this over here. Okay. So, I think your little baby is going to have some very big energy. And I'm saying that because you got all big cards here. So you got 9 of Swords, King of Swords, and then 8 of Wands reversed. So, in tarot, there's, the 1 through 10 aspect, and 10 would be the final outcome or the full manifestation or the largest or most mature number in that series. And then after the 1 through 10 comes Page, Knight, Queen, King. So kings are the fullest of manifested energy in tarot. You can't get higher than the king. So when we're asking about what is this new baby going to be, what do we need to know? We've got 2 swords out the gate, and we've got big swords. So we've got a 9 and we've got a king. So this is going to be a child that is basically far, far, far wiser than their years. You've probably got an old soul going on, coming here to join us. 9 is the number of integrity and independence. And swords are that air aspect. So mentality, communication. So this is going to be a very smart kid, I believe. And someone who is probably going to start talking really early, or will be one of those kids that you'll be like, can you believe the stuff that comes out of this kid's mouth? Like, they're just wise beyond their years. They are referencing things that you're like, a kid your age. I've never met a kid your age that understands this reference, or, things like that. And 9 is that integrity and independence number. So this is going to be an energy that has a lot of independence. So going to want to do a lot of things herself, by herself, her way. And also I think for a daughter, she's going to have a lot of male energy. Which I think is a beautiful thing. I myself have a ton of male energy as a female, and it just means you're kind of a little more go get 'em, a little louder, a little less wallflowery, and I guess just unafraid to put yourself out there. And male energy is a lot more public facing, and female energy is a lot more kind of inward facing. So someone who's not shy, let's put it that way. King of Swords. This is also going to be someone who's capable of being a leader, is what it seems like. So don't be surprised if this is the kid that's like organizing all of the kids at recess. We're going to play this game, or, things like that, or being invited to maybe participate in higher grades, or different placements that might be beyond their years, or someone who maybe is going to be in the AP classes in high school, or who is maybe in something along the lines of a talented and gifted program, or something like that. So I think a lot of intelligence, a lot of smarts, and great communication skills. That's so funny. Sounds like me. And my husband wants her to play sports. I don't see a whole lot of sports in here, and I could be wrong. Well, maybe fencing.
All those swords.
Yeah. But I think it's more going to be like the kid that's winning the spelling bee, or is class president, or in the AV club, or in the speech club, or in the drama club, or something with communication, intelligence. I mean, you could go into the nerdly aspects of intelligence. Could be like on the math. I don't know. What do they call it? Like the math gymnastics. Like, I don't know. It's something I would never be invited to. But you're gonna have a smarty pants on your hands, and probably a very clever person. So, your last card, 8 of Wands reversed. So 8 is that strength number. It's that Mobius strip, or that infinity symbol. And wands are fire. So that is what fires you up, or the fire in your belly are kind of my cliff notes. Maybe fencing, LOL. So fire is going to be your spirit, your will, your energy, your belief in yourself, kind of your chutzpah, and your belief in yourself. This is what I want to pour my energy into, and this is what gives me all this energy back. 8 of Wands is a very cool card, because there's no human element in this card, and it's the only tarot card where there's no human element. We've at least got a little cloud hand in a lot of cards, if nothing else, but there's no human element in this card. And I call this card Do What I Want, because these wands are just flying across the sky, because they're like, we can do whatever we want. And, nobody enchanted them or threw the wands. They just self-animate and take off in flight. So when I see this card reverse, to me, it's kind of a heads up to you that you're going to have to let this child go do what they want a lot. And it's not going to feel comfortable as a parent sometimes. But don't forget, you've got a smarty pants leader on your hands. So if they want to go do what they want, it might be okay. That might be a kid that you can trust to go do what they want a little bit. But they're definitely going to have a lot of energy. You're going to have to let them get that energy out. So
smarty pants.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, maybe the kind of kid that's going to manifest their own scholarships, who knows? But all right, maybe a fencing scholarship.
And then her husband gets his wish.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh man. Well, congrats, Remy.
Yes, congratulations. And thank you for being here. All right, so Christine is next.
All right. And another Sagittarius, I see.
Yes.
Okay. I am just going to go ahead and reset the energy for you, Christine. Okay. And let's go ahead and just take a nice deep cleansing breath. Shake off the day. Let everything just fall off of our shoulders. And let's let the earth keep us supported and grounded right now. And I want us to send our energy out to the universe. And I just want us to intend whatever is the best information to hear tonight. That's what we would like to know for Christine, please. And go ahead and send your energy to the cards, Christine. Oh man, that feels good already. I think we're done already. Ooh, okay. Wow. Interesting. Well, you also have, we're moving into the upright portion of the readings tonight.
Good.
So we've got 2 out of 3 upright, not bad. And a very interesting reading, actually. So we have in the past, you've got the Fool upright. Here, I'll just put all of these up so you can see them all at once. But we got the Fool in the past, 8 of Wands reversed, present, and 10 of Wands upright in the future. So the Fool is the very, very first tarot card. And this is the one that kind of starts everything out, where the Fool is going on his journey through life, through all of those major arcana or archetype cards. So the Fool is full of optimism. This is a beautiful, very sunny looking card where he is ready to go on this journey and kind of open to all the possibilities, taking everything at face value. And you can see we've got beautiful mountains in the background here. So we could be going on, again, another beautifully long journey to enlightenment or to some better version of ourselves in the future, perhaps. But the Fool is also about to walk off of the cliff, and he's got the little dog yapping at his feet to kind of say, hey, buddy, look out. So the Fool is full of possibilities, but I kind of say sometimes the Fool doesn't have bad credit or good credit. He just doesn't have any credit yet. So, but this is about you getting some kind of new beginning in the past. And this can be more than one new beginning. You know, when we go through change begat more change is what I find usually. So this could be, I moved to a new place and got a new job and got new friends and got all, you know, new. So all kinds of newness in this card in your previous chapter or in the past here. So the Fool is, you know, I'm surprised to see the next cards coming after this, because the Fool is not exactly, he hasn't quite picked a direction oftentimes. He's still kind of figuring out where he wants to go. So it's interesting that then your next 2 cards are both Wands, and we go from tiny little 0 with the Fool to your next cards are an 8 and a 10. So you make a big leap. So whatever new endeavors you started, we're already achieving in this reading, or we can already see the end. So in the present, you've got 8 of Wands reversed. I think we just had that card up, or no, we had that card reversed at the end of that last reading. So again, this is that card that I call Do What I Want. 8 is, again, that strength number. So the Mobius strip, the infinity symbol. And when this card is upright, it's about, you know, feeling strong enough and knowing you're strong enough to do whatever you want to achieve whatever you want in this Wand chapter. Wands being your fire. So that is your spirit, your energy, your will, your belief in yourself. What fires you up? What do you want to invest your energy in? What gives you energy back? It's the fire in your belly, all of that good stuff. So it looks like you start some new chapter. Lots of, I don't know, optimism is what I feel on this card. And ready to, you know, go for it and start this new adventure. And presently, you're like kind of feeling like you're stalling. I don't know if I am going to achieve what I want on this new adventure or in this new chapter. Do I have the energy to accomplish this? Do I have the strength in my spirit? Do I, am I capable of this? Do I believe in myself enough to try it? So when I see 8 reverse, a lot of times it doesn't mean that you're not strong. It means that you're kind of making yourself feel not strong for some reason. So it could be that you're questioning yourself too much, or you're too harsh on yourself, or maybe you're actually trying to do so much that you're kind of wearing yourself out and therefore kind of making yourself feel not strong, when really you're doing more than everybody else. It's something I see a lot. So regardless, you're working it out because your last card is 10 of Wands. So look, we're in the same series. You're only missing 1 card in between those 2 cards. So 8, 9, 10. And this is the Harvest card. So whatever we're working on in this chapter, whatever we've been trying to manifest or cook up or achieve, you're going to do it, or you are doing it. So even though you might be feeling a little worn out, maybe kind of questioning yourself, or am I really capable of this? Am I really as strong at this as I think I am? Boom, Harvest. So something is coming up, just all roses up ahead. And I love that you mentioned that you're a Sagittarius, which is a fire sign again, and all of these are fires. You got the dang sun in this card, and then Wands are both the fire signs. So yes, you got your brand. Yeah, I think if you've been in some kind of lull, don't worry about it, because this is a great card to end on. So this can be multiple different harvests, multiple different happy endings coming into the future. So yay.
Nice. Okay, we are out of time. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I wanted to highlight, put something in the time. So Remy says, so funny with her reading, her husband. What was it? It wasn't that one. It was something else. This one. She says she was a really rebellious kid, so pray for her.
Yeah. One of many reasons I haven't had a kid. I wouldn't even want no kid.
Right. And Christine says there had been some wavering, but I ran it off the road. Good.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm excited for whatever your big harvest is, Christine. Good job.
Mm-hmm. Totally. She's always working on something. That girl.
Yeah. Apparently.
Something big. Yeah, totally. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Holly, you want to talk a little bit about your course before we close?
Yeah. So, our intermediate advanced tarot course is going to be starting next Saturday, running for a month, every Saturday, I think for 2 hours. And, this course is really designed for what comes next. I know that we can take a gajillion classes of learning the cards and read all kind of books, learning the cards. What comes after learning the cards? So that's basically what this course is designed for. So putting it all together in a reading and getting really comfortable with the layouts and what the positions mean and how to kind of use that 360 up, down, all around kind of view that you can get by doing a bigger layout. So I know we get a lot of past, present, future 3-card reading practice because that's probably the one that we're most comfortable with when we start trying to put it together in a reading. But we're going to go all the way, learn the 6 cards, the 5 cards, the 10 cards, the Celtic Cross, learn how to do couples readings, which is super fascinating to see, how their energy kind of interacts, or where one person might be all reversed, the other person's all upright, and they balance themselves out perfectly. And really just kind of getting to understand, the energy behind the cards. And when you put the cards with these other cards, what kind of picture does that paint? We want to learn how to tell the story of a reading. And so we're going to learn how to look at those different aspects of what patterns are popping up. Do we have a bunch of nines in this reading? Or, oh my gosh, you got all fire cards. Or wow, I see a lot of different, black and white aspects. Or you might get kind of impressions in your mind, I guess, clairvoyantly, clairaudiently, whatever your clairs are, kind of learning how to use those with the tarot cards. So once we know what the meanings are, which, I'm sure everybody that's entertaining taking this class at least has some familiarity with the cards. What do we do after that? And how do we put that together and now find those psychic messages using that information? So it's where we really start playing with both sides of our brain.
Nice. Oh, I love that. Totally. Yeah. And Holly's course is very affordable. And you do have a discount, early bird discount, if you sign up, register before the end of the month, before the 31st. So all of that information is in the link in the details.
And you'll get plenty of course material to keep, so that you can access anytime and play around with. So it's a lot of bang for the buck.
And not only that, but you are invited to practice circle afterwards, after the course. You can join in a practice circle that Holly will lead as well. So lots and lots and lots that go with it. Tons of stuff. Okay. All right. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, everyone, for being here and joining us tonight. Thank you, Holly. It's always so much fun to watch you work, for one thing. It's amazing how it's just amazing how everything just flows for you, and you're such a pro. I admire you with what you do.
And likewise. Definitely. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you everyone that was able to tune in tonight. And if I didn't get to read for you, there will always be a next time. So until then, take care, everybody.
Yes, we will be back. All right. Good night, everyone.